This is the Africa Daily Show on Africa Global Radio. I am Barry Musa. We're about to jump into our next segment, and that is good news across Africa, and Epi is on standby. Stay with us, don't go away.
Good news.
Good news.
Good news.
Good news. Good news.
All right.
Yeah, so we have quite some interesting things today, and
Okay.
we'll be starting with a 35-year-old woman. And she's actually a techpreneur whose program has raised 29,000 tech-savvy Malawians.
Nice. Okay.
So we're talking about Rachel Sibande, and she's fast rising as one of Africa's technology entrepreneurs.
Okay.
A sector which we know is largely dominated by men. Now, she happens to be the founder of Malawi's first technology and innovation hub called MHub.
Okay.
So when Sibande was growing up, she wanted to actually be a French teacher.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And she also, although she had other interests, but that was the most prominent one. And she often found herself fidgeting with the family's electronic gadgets, you know, the remotes, the cassettes, those kind of things. So in the end, her dream of being a French teacher did not come to pass. Instead, she became a technology entrepreneur.
Wow.
And I think this is what brings into the thought of, for parents, it's not just about you saying your child should be a doctor or you watch him become a pay key attention to the things they place much interest in, what they do. Because as much as it was outlined that, okay, I want to be a French teacher, I want to be a French teacher.
Right.
But then she found herself fidgeting with all the electronic gadgets in the house. And she turns out to be a technology entrepreneur.
Wow. Great.
Let's not really go through the schools she went through. One thing I wanted to talk about is the MHub. Now, she joined USAID. She worked with USAID, worked with GIZ, and also Flanders International Cooperation Agency, FICA.
Okay.
And she was also part of the Young African Leaders Initiative, which is basically to support young African leaders as they spur growth and prosperity or positivity.
Okay.
Now, she got to be part of YALI in Chicago. That was in the year 2012.
Okay.
So when she went there, that was the first time she actually saw what an innovation or technology hub was like.
Oh.
And she was actually like, wow, we don't have any of this at home. We need one of this at home.
Right.
I'm actually going to create something like this back at home. So she went back after the 6-week internship program. And then when she went back home, she decided that she was going to work on it. She actually kept postponing it. And then one day she saw a quote.
Right.
Interestingly, the quote simply read, if you don't start now, you probably will never.
Right.
So then she decided to take a step towards doing that. And she went to register the hub, although she didn't have the equipment, nothing. She just put her foot out there and started working and volunteering on various projects just to gain experience and then be able to work on it. Now, she also worked on a project that was developing a technology solution for election monitoring.
Okay.
And basically what it did was they allow people to send in reports of incidents via the web, the mobile, or social media, or even SMS as they happened during the elections.
Wow.
So when they were done, the founders actually, being impressed with what she had done, decided to donate the furniture they had used for the whole election period time to her to use for her hub.
Wow.
And that is where she started from.
Brilliant.
And then she developed MHub in the year 2013.
Nice. Okay.
Now, it's become a place that a lot of people go. People go to. Let's not forget, MHub has actually trained young people, particularly girls, in digital skills. And so far, the program has reached over 29,000 young people in Malawi.
Brilliant.
She was, in the year 2017, she was awarded, she was honored by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi at Egypt's first World Youth Forum for her first technological hub in her country.
Nice.
Yeah. So if you go to Malawi, MHub is like an incubator. For technological startups and everything.
Wow.
And I'm really happy. The kind of lives that, through one creation, she has been able to impact is super important.
29,000. And there are more to come.
Yes.
I believe so. Brilliant.
Yes.
Interesting.
She happens to be a mother of 3 as well. So if you set your mind to it,
you'll definitely
you can do
achieve it.
exactly.
Yeah. And I think that's, motivating factor the quote she saw.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole reason. That's the reason why sometimes we actually try to dedicate our time to make meanings out of these,
Yeah.
proverbs and
Yeah.
daily
Yeah.
fixes we bring to
Yeah.
you. Okay,
Well, we're moving on, and our next one is from Mali.
Mali.
So this is the Malian voice-only app,
Mm-hmm.
and it's helping illiterate small business owners reach more customers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So it was actually created by Mamadou Goru Sidibe.
Okay.
And, we're used to social media on the phone, just tap, tap, text.
Yeah.
One thing we tend to forget is the fact that not everybody knows how to read and write. So I could have a smartphone. I could make calls because if I call the number, I'm going to speak.
Right.
I'll speak in my local language the person understands.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
But then when it comes to typing on these social media, I could type in local language, but if I don't know how to read and write, how do I even know the alphabet
That's
and put
true.
them there?
That is true.
So it was a problem he realized was happening in his country.
Wow.
As much as people had this, and what actually prompted him to do this was one time he actually went to a supermarket, and it was like a grocery store, and the
Okay.
owner actually pleaded with him to read a message he had got on Viber
Oh dear.
because he couldn't read it.
I think for one or two reasons, you might have come across people in that similar space situations where you need to. Can you please check this message
yeah.
for me?
yeah.
But that's a great thing. Okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean, some of them, it's not just check. You actually read and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
they
yeah.
ask you, so what do I write?
What do I
And then
write?
you actually
Yeah.
have to type it out for them and send
Exactly.
it to
Yeah.
them.
I mean,
So,
a number of times I've seen people like that.
Sidibe realized that there was a need for something that was custom made, something that
Yeah.
was tailored to the needs of the local people,
Absolutely.
the indigents.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that is how come he brought about
Mm.
Lenali. And Lenali is basically integrated with local languages such
Okay.
as Bambara,
Mhm.
Soninke,
Okay.
Songhai, More, Wolof, as well as French.
Wow. Wow. I mean, problem solved. Speak your local language and then
That's
you're good
it.
to
They're
go.
actually intending to even add more languages. Now, he's
Yeah.
an IT engineer by profession.
Okay.
And for him, the app has the potential to change the way business is done
Okay.
in West Africa.
Right.
Because all you have to do is basically record whatever you want to say in your local language
then
and
it
send
will
it.
just-
Yes, everything is voice.
Right.
It's solely voice. So you don't need to type what you can't type.
Mhm.
And we actually have businessmen in quotes and see these high-ranking people who usually communicate with people
Right.
in their local languages.
Mhm.
Because it depends on who you're doing business with.
Yeah, yeah,
come
yeah.
down
That's
to their
true.
level
Just
and
to
you
let them
speak.
understand
Exactly.
what you're communicating. That is
Exactly.
true. That is very true. All right.
So it's something that really has worked out for him, and
Mm-hmm.
it's something he's really happy about. Looking at the level of illiteracy,
Okay.
and when you go to Mali, the
Yeah.
number of people that can read or write is really a problem.
All right.
So for him, this is a solution not just for those at the top, but then for those also down. Yeah.
Okay. Brilliant. Okay.
Finally,
Uh-huh.
we're going to Uganda.
Uganda. About tech, eh?
Mm.
Okay. Let's hear it.
So in Uganda, we're looking at their fastest growing startup engine.
Okay.
We're talking about the Innovation Village
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us about the Innovation Village.
in Uganda.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's basically like an MHAB,
Okay.
but then this one is basically a standard approach to
Uh-huh.
nurturing innovators that mostly have been through innovation competitions and award ceremonies that focus on the top 3 winners out of the 100 submissions.
All right.
So for every hackathon, megathon, all the tombstones we
Yeah,
announce
yeah.
and everything, we get a winners, we get
Okay.
a runner-ups and the rest.
Okay.
But what happens to the, let's say 100 people, you take the top 3 out, what happens to the rest? What happens to the 97?
Mm.
Where do they go?
Where do they
what
go?
happens to the idea?
Right.
So then that is what Innovation Village is about in Uganda. So the
Okay.
Innovation Village is basically the destination that the 97 who did not take the trophy home
Okay.
actually come to transform their ideas into solutions
Nice.
to the world's most pressing challenges.
I like the idea of nothing is useless in
Yeah.
that regard, you
Yeah.
know? Brilliant.
So they also create an environment where startups can grow in confidence and capability scaling from the promising tech into fully established sustainable businesses.
Okay.
That's something they do.
Right. All right.
Entrepreneurship has become like the everything of the day right now. And everything, everywhere you pass.
And you know, it has
basically.
gotten to a stage where it doesn't take you a lot to actually start that
You,
entrepreneurship
you
journey.
actually need
you
to
know?
find a solution. You need to identify a problem,
problem,
and
you
then
know,
get a
and
solution.
then, yeah,
for it.
that's all.
That's what they do. But I'm happy about these people that are like home. So
Right.
one thing that Innovation Village has actually done,
Okay.
they've hosted 140 startups.
Uh-huh.
They have 2,000 plus memberships.
Right.
They have 20 plus exclusive programs.
Okay.
4,000 applications have been reviewed. 10,000 village visitors.
Wow.
70 mentors.
Wow.
$3 million plus in fundraising seed.
Nice.
Yes. And they've hosted
Life-changing journey.
100 plus events,
Wow.
and 40% of them young women.
Wow. That's amazing.
Very,
Inspiring. yeah.
Very, very amazing.
Life
So,
changing.
yeah, if you want to join on board or
Uh-huh.
anything, you just have to go to www.innovationvillage.co.ug.
Okay. All right. That's all we
And
have.
that's all we have for good news.
Merci beaucoup, Epi. That was good news across Africa. The show was Africa Daily on Africa Global Radio. 33 minutes past 1 p.m. We headed all the way to 3 p.m. GMT. You can catch the show live Monday to Friday, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. GMT. If you missed the live version, the podcast version is on AGR on demand on AfricaGlobalRadio.com. I am Barry Musa.